If you had the opportunity to save someone's life by donating part of your liver, would you do it? Today we're on Wolf Island and we're going to talk to Louise Pike and her brother-in-law, Bob Pike. So Bob and Louise, we're here today to talk about the special bond you two have other than being sister-in-law and brother-in-law. We'll start with you, Bob. So you're a healthy guy, you lifetime farmer here on Wolf Island, and things changed somewhere along the line. You weren't so healthy anymore. Tell us what happened.
Well, Donna, back in 1998, I had to have a gallbladder removed. And at that time, the doctors noticed that I did have cirrhosis, a little bit of cirrhosis on my liver that they said they'd have to monitor and keep on top of that, which surprised me. I mean, at that point in time, I wasn't a drinker or smoker or anything, but it just happened. And so at a point in time, they said I would require a I would have to look into a possible transplant.
But the fact is, there aren't enough suppliers of organs. And you may have been one of those people who, well, just died on a waiting list, basically.
Most definitely. I was initially 234th on the list. And so my prognosis really wasn't all that good. But thanks, Louise threw herself into the fray.
I realized out of the corner of my eye, I'm looking at this dryer.
I have a lot of notice here because he was getting so sick by this time.
They had given us a date. When I started the appointments in Toronto, they gave us a date, and it was in April, and it was about 5 weeks away. And we actually kept that date because I believe about 50% of the operations are canceled or delayed because either the donor gets sick for some reason or the recipient gets very sick and they can't do it. So we were lucky that we kept that date.
Yes, we did.
And
I was lucky we kept that date.
Yeah, you were right.
Yeah.
You were the lucky one.
Really amazingly lucky, yes.
Right.
The pulse stocks. Right, yeah. I had good results for about, I think it was about 10 days, 7, 8, 10 days, whatever, with Louise's liver. And then it died because I got a blood clot. And so they had to open me up and close me back up again at that point in time. And I can remember them wheeling me back to my room and saying, "Oh, Mr. Pike, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine." And then they're down the hall telling my family I've got 3 days if they don't find a new one. And so miraculously, it came. It was there in time, and it's functioning very well. I mean, I'm sure that if the clot hadn't appeared, I would be still using Louise's liver, but that didn't happen. So I got another liver. So I'd had the 3 operations in such a short period of time. But here I am, and it's quite amazing.
so some anonymous donor kept him alive.
Yep.
Right.
Which is
amazing.
amazing to think that you can do that.
So, have you been in touch with the family who?
I don't know who the family is. I wrote a letter of thanks, and I had to take it to the coordinator in Toronto, which I could not put my name down. I just thanked them profusely and told them a little bit about my family and what had happened, and how thankful I was that I got that third chance at life, as it was, because Louise was 2 and that was 3. And I got a lovely letter back from the wife of the person that I'm using that liver, and it was such a lovely letter. Also, I don't know, she couldn't put down her name or anything, but she said she had 2 daughters and how they missed their dad and everything. But knowing that I was getting benefit from it made the decision so worthwhile. And both she and her husband had made that decision much prior to whatever happened. I assume it was an accident because it was sudden, and she so it it made everything right when I'm alive.
These big files, and then these little files were still kind of hanging around.
It's quite an incredible situation.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in the hospital, the whole floor is donors,
Mm-hmm.
or recipients
Yes.
mostly. Some donors, but mostly recipients. I mean, I had a roommate who had a heart transplant. I was just flabbergasted by
Yeah.
that. You're walking around, getting your exercise with your IV pole, and you're talking to people, and they've had a kidney transplant, lung transplant, heart transplant, pancreas. I was astounded. I was the healthy one. I was going to get better. And these people, you're having conversations. Everybody you talk to has had a transplant or has been a donor.
And they're all so optimistic. I mean, even when I was waiting
was
to get
amazing.
my transplant, you'd be
Yeah.
talking to people that are waiting, and they're so optimistic, you know. And
Yes.
so, if the date doesn't work for them, and that's the hard part, to realize you're so fortunate, and they've missed
Right.
Yeah.
that opportunity.
Yes,
You know,
for
because there wasn't.
very good reasons.
Yeah, there wasn't that organ available to them.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Right.
And
pretty
that's-
amazing. Pretty amazing. The whole clinic is transplants.
Yeah.
And you've got pictures and testimonials.
Yeah.
And how common was it that it was a living donor? Like in your case, how often did you talk to other
Gee,
people?
I
It was
honestly,
about maybe 1 or 2 a week, I think, that they tried to do. It wasn't very many.
So most of them were from people who had
Yeah.
passed away.
For
and-
livers,
right.
anyway.
Yeah.
The liver was-
they have
I
an
think
excellent
it's-
track record, though, of
Yes.
survival there. And
Yeah.
Toronto is one of the best
Yes.
hospitals
Yes.
as far as survival goes.
Yeah.
Right. So it's 5.5 years. Tell us what your life is like now, Bob.
Well, I don't know what Louisa's life is like, but I know before I noticed the roses, and now I take time to smell them. It just gives you a whole different outlook. The first thing I say every morning is thank you for another day, because, you know, without that, I wouldn't be here. That's all there is to it. It's plain and simple. And I've watched my grandkids grow for 5 years and enjoyed life with them and everything. So yes, it's been an amazing trip. I just can't appreciate it. I mean, you appreciate your friends more. You appreciate your family more. It's just a whole. I don't say this in a bad way. Everybody should go through the experience, but not have to go through the experience.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very positive place.
It is.
It's an amazingly positive place, and it's astounding what they can do.
And Donna, I'll just say, it's a real place to show off multiculturalism, isn't it?
Oh my goodness, it's just a really wonderful, positive place,
Yeah.
and you know,
I
I had no idea.
I had a
what
Greek
this was
doctor,
like.
and a French doctor, a Russian doctor, an American doctor, and a Canadian doctor. That's it was quite amazing, because every morning they'd come in about a little after 8 o'clock, and how are you feeling, Mr. Pike, and everything like that. And it was quite amazing
Yeah.
to see.
Well taken care of,
And
great people.
It was
Yeah.
just a terrific health system as far as I'm concerned.
You're
And I
very
hope, I hope this encourages people
Yes.
to step forward, and if they have reservations about it, to check it out and just give somebody else the opportunity.
Yeah. Sign
To
your
do-
donor
to-
card, talk to your family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
That's it.
Thanks so much for being with us today.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.